Am I washed out? Is this way too white? Hello, folks. Let me get rid of this guy so you can see me. So I'm just downstairs in the dungeon. I'd love to be able to call it a man cave, but we're not there yet. I've been really racking my brain. I have a lot of decisions to make, and I have a lot of important decisions to make, actually, regarding my trip, my solo trip. So I thought that I'd make this quick video and ask your guys' opinion. That doesn't mean that I'm going to completely follow what the majority says or anything like that. I just want to get a couple different ideas going on what you guys think is the best. So what I'm referring to is my 10-day solo self-discovery journey, where I'm going far north, the same spot that Sean and I went in last spring, very close to that spot actually. I won't be going into the park, I won't be going into Woodland Caribou Park. I'll be outside in some crown land. But it took us 30 hours to drive there last time, so that's how far up north it is. It's on the border of Manitoba and Ontario. I'll be flying this time. The premise is, or the possible premise is, an alone type show where I only bring 10 items and I live out there on what I can do with those 10 items. And that's good, and that's really cool and fun and everything. There's a couple drawbacks to it, especially in the location I'm going and how I'm doing it. Again, like I said before, the legality issues. I don't have free range to do whatever I want for procuring food. But also, there's not that the garbage and the things that would come in off the Pacific Ocean when we were out on Vancouver Island. The first day I found, or maybe the second day, I found like 3 big 1-liter glass jugs. I found a bunch of rope, tons and tons and tons of garbage that was useful for things out there. I say this because that's not going to be the case where I'm going. That place is seldom used. The park itself sees less than 500 visitors a year compared to Algonquin that sees millions. And it's enormous. This park is enormous. And again, I'm not going to be in the park, but it's the same idea, right? The fact is, there's no ocean, and there's not going to be things washing up from Japan, or down the street, or anything like that. There's no garbage there. When I was there, I saw no garbage. So that leads into not being able to have things, to use things for certain things. So it might be a little bit more interesting if I did have a little bit more gear. But then again, where do I draw the line, right? Like, as it is now, I have this packed. This is my Why Not Wildland Scout pack, packed with all the things that I would take with my 10 items, leaving out the canoe and leaving out the fishing rod because those are 2 of my items. 8 items are fitting in there. And I really could potentially do the trip out of that pack, plus a secondary like Pelican case or waterproof case for my camera gear, because I will need to bring probably 4, 5, 6 cameras even. I'll be borrowing a couple really high-end DSLRs and possibly a drone and things like that, because I do want to make this very quality. So I can potentially do that, 10 items out of that backpack. Or the other thought I had, sorry, let me jump back. I'm kind of jumping all over the place. So with those 10 items, I have a pot, a knife, a fire steel, an axe, a tarp. On the show, they gave us a tarp and gave us the option of bringing a tarp. So there was a like 12 by 16 or 14 by 16 canvas tarp that they gave us, and we were allowed to choose a tarp as one of our 10 items. So that secondary tarp wasn't on that list. I'm not going to take 2 tarps. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to add another thing or anything like that. The one tarp is the tarp that I have. It's fair. Well, I'm not in the Pacific rainforest. I'm not in a temperate rainforest where I'm going. So I don't need the 2 tarps. That other tarp was necessary where we went. Anyway, pot, knife, fire steel, axe, tarp, sleeping bag, food, rations, fishing rod and 5 lures, boat, and I'm missing one, cordage. That's my 10, okay? So with those 10 items, I have a big pot. I have a zebra pot. It's a 14 centimeter billy pot that I'll be bringing. That said, I don't have garbage to go around and find water bottles to have portable things to bring water around and stuff like that. That's not a deal breaker. That's not a game changer. That's not even a necessity. But it changes the type of trip that it would be. So I guess what I'm really trying to get at is, should I stick with the 10 items, what I told you what they are, I can show you here in a second, or should I go with like whatever can fit in a backpack? You know what I mean? Because then I'll have things like a reflector oven to cook my fish in, as opposed to cooking it on a spit every single time. I'll have options with that. Or I could bring a saw, which will help things. Or I could bring a water bottle, which will help things. You know what I mean? Or just little things that I can do projects with. A knife sharpener, a book. You know, all those things that will make the trip different. I don't know that they will make it better or worse. It does kind of take away from the surviving aspect of it. Again, I'm planning on building a shelter, incorporating that tarp into the shelter, or using that tarp until I have a shelter made, depending. But then again, where do I draw the line? Like I'm saying, I don't want to bring a sleeping pad, because then that's more just camping. Yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know what I should do, where I should draw the line. Let me show you guys the gear that I do plan on bringing. I do have some of the original things that I brought on alone, and when I can, I would like to bring those same things or very similar things, just to kind of replicate it. But yeah, let's go through those things. So first up, this is the original sleeping bag that I brought on alone. This was my cold weather sleeping bag for a long time when I was buying things on the cheap. This is a Chinook. Anybody that knows Chinook knows that it's not a good quality. You can probably find it in places like Canadian Tire or Walmart, stores of that nature. That said, it's done really well for me. It's bulky, it's synthetic, so the down getting wet is not really an issue, but I think it's like a -20 bag too. Anyways, that's one option for my sleeping bag. Or I could also, if I want to go, if I do decide to go real minimalist, I might bring the wool blanket. I'm not sure yet. I am 100% going to be having a fire in my shelter or right in front of my shelter, using it as warmth. So that's where stuff like the wool blanket comes in real big in handy, because it won't melt, it won't burn, spark holes on it won't matter. Whereas if I'm using a synthetic bag, it's warmer, but there is a chance of it getting burned up, especially with how close my fire will be. We got to remember too, sorry to digress a bit, these 10 items were not just all that we had. We were allowed clothing, we were allowed a first aid kit, we had a headlamp to help us with our filming stuff at night. We had a satellite radio on us, or sorry, a sat phone on us, a GPS tracker thing, maybe not GPS, but like a beacon, a tracking beacon, like a SOS thing. So 100% I am going to bring all that stuff. I'm going to have a sat phone. I need to have that out there. I need to have like a spot emergency thing, and I do need first aid and a headlamp and all things like that. So all that stuff will be brought. That's not part of the 10 items. Gloves too. We were allowed to bring gloves. Check these out. Check these bad boys out. These are my Hestra Fall Line gloves, as you guys know, and you've seen them forever. I've been using these things for 3 years. They're shrunk. They're literally beat up beyond repair. Let's show you. Look at how much they've shrunk. Look at the thumbs. Here, listen to this. They were one time soft, supple leather gloves. They are just destroyed. Finger cut through. This is all ripping off. Very, very, very tiny. Not an original color on them. Just ripped up. But I love them. This is the axe that I would bring this time regardless. I'm not going to bring the same one I brought last time for a couple reasons. This is my Gransfors Scandinavian Forest axe. Real nice axe. This is the one that I originally brought on alone. This is my grandma's axe. This is also a sweet axe. I love this thing. Probably my favorite axe ever, just for the sentimental value, the shape of the head, everything. it is a bit heavy. That's why I don't want to bring it. It's not too heavy to use by any means. It's maybe a half a pound heavier than this, but because I'm only bringing one axe and no saw, I really want to have control. I really want to have like derp. I want to have enough like finesse and control to do small work on this. And yeah, I really just want to put this thing through some work. You know, get sap all over the handle and really make it my own. So this is becoming more of an heirloom, more of like a hang it on the wall, use it every now and then kind of thing, because it does have a lot of sentimental value to me. So the axe, I've already showed you my sleeping bag, potentially my wool blanket, my axe. Those are two pieces of kit. The sleeping bag or the wool blanket would be if I do use this bag. Now this isn't none of this is set in stone at all. I'm just talking, thinking out loud. It would be strapped to the bottom of my bag, the sleeping bag or the sleeping pad, because this is again like a 30-liter bag, and that's not that much for 10 days. Let's go on the outside. I do have a couple other things in here, just clothing wise. We were allowed obviously to bring rain gear, needed rain gear. So I've got things like one pair of boxers, one shirt. I'm not going to be bringing a lot of clothes at all, just literally one pair of extra socks, one pair of boxers, one long johns, one undershirt, and then rain gear, and then whatever I'm wearing. I might have like an extra t-shirt or something like that just to layer. My toque, oh, this is the same toque I took on loan as well. This is my Icebreakers beanie, and then my Arc'teryx rain jacket. All that stuff fit in my side pouch, my water bottle pouch, so that's really useful. And the other pouch, believe it or not, fits the 14 centimeter billy can, zebra billy, which is absolutely crazy to me. Like, that's a big old pot, and the side pouch fits that. If I can, there we go. So look at that bad boy. That's seldom been used. 2 or 3 times that's been used. I got that from Firebox stove. So it's even got the little clips on it. Inside here, there's a little dish. Look at the size of this. This is not the 12. I'll go grab the 12 and show you the difference. Okay, so here's the 14. Here's the 12. Here's the 10. You can see I've got a lot more use out of my 12 and my 10 than the 14, but that's the size difference right there. Normally, whenever anybody asks me, I say if you're solo, 10, but they're hard to find. If you are cooking for 2 people or 1 to 2 people, 12, and then if you're obviously cooking for 2 or more, this one. But because I have no water filter, I'll be cooking in this and procuring my water and everything out of one thing. I'm going with the 14 for sure. And that's not bigger than what they allowed us to bring on a loan. It's actually the same size as the one I brought on a loan. It was my buddy Ken's though. It's nice to have the dish. I don't think they let me bring the dish on a loan, but I'm bringing it. I don't care. I got cordage. Excuse me, has a paracord in there. This one is a 7-strand, so it's even more useful. I can cannibalize it and get lots more rope off of it. Excuse me, got the hiccups. So I've shown you 3 pieces of kit: pot, axe, sleeping bag. So this is a toss-up. On the show alone, I brought a knife that was identical to this. This is my second knife that looks like this. The other one's MIA. But this is the identical knife. I did not have, as some of you would know, a fire steel loop on it. So this is a little different. And it's a touch shorter anyways. But this would be the same knife. And if I do bring this knife, I'll bring this fire steel that's attached to it. If not, I'll be bringing probably my Turley gasket. Oh, sorry, this is an Adventure Sworn Mountaineer. Really like Adventure Sworn, really like the Mountaineer. My favorite model of theirs. And this is my Turley gaskenade. This is just a beast of a knife, all around good woods tool. So it'll be one of those 2 most likely. Again, it might change. And then a fire steel, right? With a lanyard. I'm not waiting this time to put the lanyard on. I don't care about the rules. I'm making the rules. This is my uplink jacket, the same one that I took on a loan. It's made of Primloft. It's all bandaged up, but we bring that again. Again, that's just part of clothes. That's not a 10-piece kit. This is my tarp. This is a Bushcraft USA 10x10. I'm either bringing this or an AquaQuest 13x11 or something along those lines, depending if AquaQuest hits me back. I emailed them last night. So either a 10x10 or like a 13x11 ripstop tarp. So that's 6. My fishing kit will be going in here, plus my fishing rod. So again, like I said in the other video, I'm going to bring a rod, a reel with already fishing line on it, so that I'm not bringing any extra fishing line. So a reel and rod with line and 5 hooks. So that's gonna be one. I don't know why I did this. That's gonna be one piece of kit because I don't have a gill net. I'm not allowed to throw multiple lines in the water or anything like that. This is gonna be the making up for that. So fishing kit, 7. First aid kit, that doesn't count obviously. Food is 8. Food is gonna go in this, and this is probably gonna be about how big the food is, just like this. Inside here, or sorry, this is a Ursack. This is what I'll use to tie my food up with at night. They did not give us something to do that with on alone, and I thought that was very silly. Anyways, I'm bringing this high chance of seeing bear, this bear country. The thing is, bears are not habituated to people. They're not habituated to campsites, or not that I'm going to be on a campsite. We don't have problem bears there. They don't have problem bears there because of that. Because there's no campsites that are littered with people and garbage and things like that. So, regardless of that, this is my Ursack. This is a Kevlar bag. This will be safe for bears. I'll tie it to the bottom of the tree. They can't rip through it. There's a smell-proof bag in it. We'll keep it all good. Inside this, I'm going to have rice, granola, and jerky. That's it. That's going to be my food for 10 days. I'm going to supplement... No, I'm going to supplement my fish with this. That's the way to say it. Anyways, that's 9, I think, right? Is that 9? So let's go over real quick again. Oh, and 10 would be my canoe in place of the gill net because I can't bring one. So, canoe, fishing pole, fishing gear, food, cooking pot, sleeping bag or wool blanket, knife and fire steel, that's 7. Tarp is 8. Axe is 9. And cordage, which is inside here, is 10. That's my 10 items. Would you rather see me survive, live off the land, find myself, do what I need to do out there with those 10 items in that small backpack, plus a few pieces of clothing, safety kit, camera gear? Or would you prefer to see me have all of the tools that I would need to be comfortable? Bring things like a kuksa to drink out of, make it way more campy. Bring things like the Svante Frieden fire reflector, bring lemon, bring butter, bring fish crisp, bring a hammock to chill in, not to sleep in. I'll still build a shelter. What would you prefer? There's 2 schools of thought. It's 2 completely different trips, right? I'm still going to be stationary. I'm still going to fish for my dinner. I'm not going to bring tons and tons of food. Either way, I'm not going to bring food. I'm going to bring rations and then things to supplement my food. The things will be fish crisp, butter, lemon, things to make it taste better. Yeah, or do you want to see me recreate alone basically for 10 days? I know it's, and again, I know it's not the same thing. I know that completely. I have a destination. I have an end date, which is enormous, which changes everything already. And I'm in a place that I not know, but I'm more familiar with. So I get it. It's not alone. I completely get it. But this is my take on it, and this is me doing what I can do. I can't be gone for a month. It's just not gonna happen. I got a pregnant wife and a kid, right? 10 days is a long time. Plus, I got to be there for a couple days beforehand, a couple days on the other side of it. I got to fly there, get situated. You know what I mean? So it's going to turn into 15 days, easy. That I'm gone from home. So again, what would you rather see? What really strikes you as a cool video or as a cool series? either way, it's going to be fun. Either way, I'm going to have a blast. I'm sure that the same result is going to come out of it. I'm going to have a better understanding of myself and my head and my skills and all that stuff. But what do you want to see? Again, regardless, I'm bringing a journal. I don't care. I'm bringing a journal and a pencil, and I'm writing, because that's what I'm going to do at night. You know what I mean? I'm going to sit by the fire and write. Even if I do the 10 item thing, I need to be able to write at night, write my thoughts, and remember how I'm feeling out there. And specifically, there are things that I don't want to put on video that are personal in my head that I go through and think about and things like that. So I'm pretty open with you guys. You know what I mean? I'm pretty open with you guys, as you've come to understand. But there are things that I need to work out in my head, and putting them on paper and being by myself for 10 nights is cool. Looking forward to it. So let me know. Let me know. I know I've asked you guys probably 15 times now, but let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you think is better. And again, I'm not going to like make a poll and decide with whoever has the most votes, but I would like to read opinions and reasons why. So thank you very much for humoring me. I'm very excited for this. It's something I'm constantly thinking about now and packing, and you can see I got a gear bomb now that I got to clean up, but very cool. So thanks again for watching, guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your ideas. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.